Hello everyone. I wanted to make a short video doing basically an overview of your syllabus for this semester. I know that you guys have probably gone into Canvas and you have looked at that gigantic document that you see, and it's this big giant pile of words upon words, and you might overlook something. So I wanted to take a minute to kind of hit the highlights of how the semester is going to work, the expectations, things like that, in hopes, so see if you guys have any questions in the grand scheme of things, but to also better prepare you for your 15 question syllabus quiz that you will have to take. So without any further ado, you guys are enrolled in English 236 for the next 14 weeks. We are online, and unfortunately, I know that I miss being in the classroom, but we are online. This is also, I do want to mention, as I do in the syllabus, that this is an asynchronous class. So there aren't specific days in which you are required to come and do anything like that. However, beginning probably next week or the week after, I will offer a kind of weekly lecture time for us to come together and talk about the various stories and things that we read this semester. So be on the lookout for an announcement that has to do with a survey for times and dates and things like that. And I'll explain more about that in the next week or so. However, I do want to say, don't let that be daunting to you, because it is not required. It will be optional, and should you choose to come to anything that is optional by way of Zoom and collective class meetings, it will be extra participation points. And sometimes I may if you come, you don't have to do the discussion board for the week, things like that. So there's always an incentive for you to be there. However, if you're not able to, that video will be provided. Whatever we talk about, I'll provide a link to the video, etc. So anyways, I digress. Way too long talking about that. So we are online. And if you successfully complete this course at the end of the 14 weeks, you will earn yourself 3 credit hours. And for all intents and purposes, for most of you, this should be the last of your English requirements for Germana. So a description of the course. I'm not going to read too much of the course description, because you guys can do that on your own. However, this course, really, I mean, it's kind of self-evident in the introduction to the short story. We are looking at the genre of the short story. We're looking at literary elements of the short story. We're going to analyze those. We're going to look at how the genre has changed historically from its origins to its present form. We'll look at the historical context of when these things were written. We'll look at the people who wrote them, all of those types of things. And a lot of that is what's going to gear our group discussions as we read the various short stories that I have selected for us. To better aid you all with that, you are required to have a textbook, and that textbook is called the Siegel Book of Stories. You can find that either through the Germana bookstore, or you can go on to Amazon and order it. It is required. I do also want to mention that when you look in Canvas, and I'll show you guys, and on your syllabus with the reading schedule, you'll notice that some of the short stories have handout next to them, mainly because I used to teach this course with a different textbook, and it was, you know, almost an $80 textbook, so I nixed that and decided to go with something cheaper that had that was more cost effective for everybody. So there will be handouts, especially for the first unit. But I digress. But all of those will be available to you in Canvas via a PDF file. But your main textbook that we are going to use is the Siegel Book of Stories by Joseph, edited by Joseph Kelly. So make sure that in the next couple of weeks, you won't need it for the first 3 weeks of our class, but for the in the next couple of weeks, please make arrangements to get this required textbook. Some of our goals for the course is to obviously engage in close reading, interpret various elements of the short story, look at the historical conventions, discuss the history of the short story genre, and increase as we interact with the selections of literature. As critical readers, it is an effort to increase our skills of writing and critically thinking about literature. So those are our course goals. Now, some of the important housekeeping things. Communicating with me. There are 3 ways in which you can communicate me. Unfortunately, none of them involve seeing me in person in a physical space. However, you can come to my office hours, which I'll talk about in a second. My virtual office hours. You can call me. You have my phone number on the syllabus. Please do not text me. If you're going to text me, you may as well just send me an email, but you can call me via the phone. If you do not get an answer from me, I will call you back, so leave a message. So office hours, phone, and the quickest, most efficient, and most efficient way to get in touch with me is through email. I will respond. I kind of obsessively check my email, so I will respond to you swiftly and quickly. However, if you do decide to send me an email, please make sure that you adhere to kind of conventional email standards. That means you have a salutation or a greeting that addresses me as a person, make me feel like I'm human. Hello, Professor Swan, Miss Swan, whatever salutation you feel appropriate. Hola. Salutations, whatever. Anyways, have a greeting, a body message that tells me what you want, and then please make sure you sign your name. So those are kind of the I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but every semester I get a student who sends me a blank Word document, and I have no idea who it's from or what it's about, without any kind of message, or they just send me a message like they would send me a text message, which is great if you're in that kind of relationship with a person, but this is a professional setting, so please treat email communication as if it's the kind of formal communication that you have with your instructor. So if you do not get an answer, if you send me an email, if you do not get a response after 24 hours, please resend it again. I won't think that you are hounding me. I won't think that you are bothering me. I have over 100 students, so I get a lot of email. So if you get lost in the shuffle, I don't want to, it's not intentionally, so please send me the email after 24 hours. So more on the office hours. They will be held via Zoom. You can get the Zoom link on your syllabus or in your syllabus, and it's in Canvas in a couple of different places. You can get it from the Start Here section, you can get it from the syllabus section, or you can get it directly from the link in your module that says Zoom link. So there are various ways for you to get to it. Should you want to meet with me during my office hours, you don't need to wait for an invitation or me to send you something to join the meeting. All you have to do is check my availability, my office hours, and then log into Zoom or click on the link, log in, and I will be there on the other side. So don't wait for me to send you an invitation. This is an open invitation for you to come to my office hours. I have office hours on Tuesday, Thursday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And for those of you who are 9-to-5ers or like to do things a little bit later in the evening, I also have evening office hours, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. If none of those days work for you, if none of those times work for you, I am open, I am available, I will work with your schedule. So just send me an email and schedule an appointment and I will make it happen. I do want to mention really quickly, attendance, because we are online, I won't physically see you in a classroom. Your butt's not going to be in a seat twice a week or 3 times a week or however often classes usually run. But I can, however, look at your participation and how often you log into Canvas, how long you spend in Canvas, how much time you spend there. So it's very big brothery and kind of creepy. I can see how many hours you log in my class every week or every day or however I want to run those logistics. So I will be keeping track of your participation and how often you quote unquote come to class. So so please make it a habit to check in every other day or at least 3 times in a 7-day period. My advice, my best advice is to check in every other day or every day. Check your email often, because if there's something that I want to tell you guys, I'll probably send it via an announcement, and that will come to both Canvas and your email. So get in the habit of checking that. Because your success in this class depends on how engaged and how much you participate. So I will be watching. The other thing that I do want to mention, and I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it because you guys have been in English 111, you guys have been in English 112, you know what academic integrity and what academic dishonesty is, and you should by now know what plagiarism is. And if you need a refresher on what that is, please make sure you read the long section of it in your syllabus. But the long and the short of it is, I have a zero tolerance policy for plagiarism, especially in this class because you guys have been in English 111 and 112. So don't cheat. I will catch you. You will fail. Any plagiarism I catch, you will be at a 0 on the assignment, and you and I will have a long conversation. So please be cognizant. Please be aware. And let's move on to kind of some classroom decorum or netiquette things. No yelling, please, or be aware that you don't type in all caps. Be aware of your grammar. Be respectful, submit files the right way. So for example, in your introduction discussion board, I am asking you to embed a photo, not attach a photo. So please make sure that you follow those types of directions. Think before you type, because once it's there forever. And in kind of going off on that, please be kind and please be professional. Your grading criteria and kind of grading scale and major assignments, it's pretty simple in this class. I have simplified usually I had a whole bunch of stuff going on in this class that kind of balanced the class, but I've simplified it. So your weighted grade is an average of these weighted grades, is a combination of a couple of different things. Your weekly grades, which is 25%, I may kind of tweak that to 30%, but your weekly grades are 25%, which includes discussion boards, quizzes, anything else that I may ask you all to do, or give you to do as kind of a bonus, or kind of participation points. All of that is going to be collected into 25% of your grade, and the other 75% will be the 3 major essays that you will write. And you can find a description of those in your syllabus, but you'll see the first description of your first essay in Canvas once I open up week 1. So 3 major essays, and that's pretty much it, in addition to your weekly grades. When you are turning in those assignments, please make sure that you find where they are on Canvas, and you'll see where they're located. Please make sure that you submit all of your papers in the form of a Word document. This is especially true for people who are Mac users. If you have Pages, Pages is not compatible with the grading system in Canvas, so I can't see it, so therefore I can't grade it, and it's challenging and all of that. So please make sure Word documents convert all of your Google Docs or your Pages docs or whatever into Word documents. And please make sure that all of your papers are double spaced, written in Times New Roman 12-point font, which is MLA standard, and you use MLA format for your citations and your works cited, because this is an English class. This is well, I mean, it is an English class, but it's a literature class, and literature and English classes are usually bound by MLA rules. Due dates: no late work is accepted. So if an assignment is due on any given day, it is due by 11:59 and will disappear from the interwebs of Canvas after that time. However, I know that I am not the only swan in your pond. I am not the only class you take, and I am not the only thing that you've got going on in your life. You guys are busy people, so everyone has a single grace period or a single day to turn in one assignment 24 hours late. I won't ask, you don't have to tell. So you have one, and if you do not use it, you turn everything in on time, and for the rest of the semester, I will give you an extra 100 points at the end of the semester if you do not use your grace period. But that is, it'll go in that 25 percent category, but you have it if you need it, and please don't be shy about asking to use it or letting me know that you're going to use it if indeed you need to. So some expectations, you guys can check this out, but really the main thing that I do want to make sure that you guys understand is you have to read, and I'll talk more about that in a minute, and complete all activities. Check Canvas and email on a regular basis. Be an active learner, contribute to discussion. Make sure that you know, if you can, come to the Zoom calls and participate in class discussions and follow directions. I want to say really quickly more about the expectations of reading. Guys, this is a literature class. I am expecting you to read. You guys are going to be reading more than you probably have in your other English classes that you've taken up until now. And I'm sorry if that's not your bag, but that's kind of a requirement. So please, I'm asking you guys to read 2 short stories a week, and on average, some are longer than others, and the good thing about the short story as a genre is that they are short. They are designed to be read in kind of a single setting. So I know that some of them that we are going to be reading, you'll say, this is not very short, Miss Swan, but I assure you that they are shorter than novels. Anyways, I digress. Please make sure that you read Spark Notes and Lit Notes, or whatever it is that you guys use, Google, Wikipedia, plot summaries, and all that kind of thing. You can use them, you can look at them, but that's no substitution for actually having read the story. So I encourage you to do both if that's what it takes. So anyways, if you do not read, you will not be successful. So because you kind of have to know what you've read in order to contribute to class discussion, to complete your discussion boards, and all those types of things. So please be aware and cognizant of that. I have broken our class up into 4 units. In the first couple of weeks, we're going to talk about the origins of the genre and some genres that contribute to developing the short story genre that we know of it, that comes into play in the 19th century, how that evolves in the 20th century, and what the contemporary short story looks like. So we're going to be reading a lot of different stuff, and it's going to be fun. So some tips for success: please, again, read, ask questions. If you don't ask, I'm sorry, I'm not a mind reader. I wish that I were, but ask questions if you have them, and I will do my best to answer you or find the answer. Be aware of due dates, assignments, etc. In other words, do the work. I can't grade what you don't submit, and follow directions. Finally, the last thing I want to say is breathe. It's going to be okay. I know that I'm giving you guys a whole lot of information at one time, but it's gonna be great. I'm excited to see what you guys think of the short stories, and um, where we go as a class this semester. So let me know if you have any questions, and good luck on that syllabus quiz.